Today's video will be a short continuation of our previous video, and if you guys haven't watched the previous video, please watch our previous video, that is how to integrate SonarQube with Jenkins. So you guys haven't watched it yet, please go and watch, because we had did everything from scratch and we had set it up Jenkins SonarQube, because in this video we are going to deploy our website in Docker. So let's get started how to deploy our website in Docker. As you know, this is our project in GitHub. We know this is our project, and also we set it up Jenkins, and we can see this is our build we had done in previous video, and also we had set it up our SonarQube. Yes, this is our SonarQube interface. In today's video, let's look into how to deploy our website in a Docker. For that, first I'm going to create a EC2 instance for Docker. So we know here is our Jenkins server and SonarQube server. So if you guys haven't watched our previous video, SonarQube and Jenkins, so let's get back to our AWS. Here I'm going to create a new server for our Docker. Give it a name like Docker server. I'm going to choose Ubuntu as our OS. From here I'm going to select T3 medium as our instance type. Then let's select our SSH key. Then leave it as by default, then launch instance. Yes, our Docker server is at initialization state, so let's wait few seconds. Once our Docker server is running up, we have to SSH into Docker server, and we have to connect our Jenkins and Docker server. Yes, our Docker server is now at running state, so let's SSH into our Docker server. For that, just copy the public IP and come to this is our SonarQube server, and this is our Jenkins server. So let's add another terminal, and here we can paste our Docker server public IP. Just press enter. Yes, just clear the screen. To understand easily, we can change the host name. For that, sudo hostname ctl set hostname, just give as docker /bin/bash. As now we can easily understand this is Docker server. So just clear the screen. Yes, just update the repositories. Yes, our repositories are updated. Next, we have to install Docker. For that, docker install Ubuntu, just type like that. And from here, install Docker engine on Ubuntu. We can select this link, and here OS requirements and uninstall old versions, Ubuntu install methods, everything is here. We can select install using the apt repository. For that, just copy these links and we can paste in our terminal. And meanwhile, we can copy these commands and let's paste here again. Hit the enter. Yes, it's all. Just clear the screen. Next, install Docker packages. For that, we can easily copy from here and paste in our terminal. Yes, as you can see, it's downloading. Yes, Docker packages are installing right now. So once it finishes, let's check Docker is installed in our server or not. We can simply run any hello world image. Yes, our Docker is installed right now. Let's check that whether it is successfully installed or not. We can simply run a image. For that, Docker run hello world. Unable to find hello world. That is Docker. Yes, let's check. Docker ps sudo docker ps. Yes, here we can see we have faced a permission denied error because our Ubuntu user does not have much privilege to run Docker commands. So what we can do, like we can add the Ubuntu user into Docker group. For that, just clear the screen, sudo user mode hyphen a capital G, then we can mention our Docker group, then username new grp docker. Yes, now we can check our Ubuntu user have much privilege or not. For that, we can run any Docker command, Docker ps. Yes, it's okay. Then Docker ps minus a. Yes, here we can see our hello world is exited about a minute ago. Next, we have to connect our Jenkins server and the Docker server. For that, this is our Jenkins server. So we have to connect our Jenkins server with the Docker server. For that, I am going to SSH into our Docker server from Jenkins server. I just paste the Docker IP here and enter. Yes, yes, as you can see, we have faced a permission denied publicly because we haven't authenticated yet. So we have to authenticate first. For that, I'm going to create sh keygen. Just hit enter. Yes, I'm going to override that. Just enter, press enter. Let's copy our key. For that, sudo cat id rsl.pub. Let's copy this key from here and we can paste it in our Docker server. For that, sudo vim authorizer keys. Under authorizer keys, we have to paste the key here and escape colon right and good save the file. And next we have to change some modification in SSD configuration file. For that, sudo vim /etc sshd config. Here we have to change some modifications. We have to uncomment something. Yes, public pub key authentication is yes. We have to uncomment the statement. Next, yes, password authentication is no. We have to change it to yes. Yes, then we can save this file. Once again, let's restart. Yes, it's okay. And come back to our Jenkins server. We can see whether we are able to SSH into the Ubuntu, SSH into the Docker server or not. For that, let's try this. Yes, we have successfully SSH into the Docker server from Jenkins server. So you can see, as you can see here is Ubuntu at Docker. This is our Docker server. So just exit from Docker and come back to Jenkins again, and here we have to switch into Jenkins user. Before that we have to set some password for the Ubuntu username. For that, sudo passwd Ubuntu. We have to set a password for that Ubuntu user as password updated successfully. Next we can switch the user into Jenkins user. Sudo su Jenkins. We have to create a keygen here, sh keygen. Yes, just enter yes, because as a Jenkins user we have to create a key there. SSH copy id, then Ubuntu. We have to mention our Docker IP, this Docker IP, and let's paste here, just enter. Yes, it's asking Docker Ubuntu username, user password. For that, let's just set a password for Ubuntu here also. For that, sudo passwd Ubuntu and set a password. Is successfully updated, and from Jenkins server we can type the password, just hit enter. Yes, now try logging into machine with SSH. So we can just try to login into Docker as Jenkins user. Paste here, hit enter. Yes, so now as Ubuntu user and also as a Jenkins user we are able to SSH into the Docker server. So we can just exit from Docker server. Yes, we are again back to Jenkins and just clear the screen. We have to set up something in Jenkins. For that, go back to Jenkins and select dashboard, manage Jenkins. Next we have to install one SSH plugin. For what means Jenkins want to interact with the Docker server to execute commands in its shell. So that, go to manage Jenkins under plugins. In available plugins you want to search SSH to EC. In my case I have already installed that, so you guys have to install. Then we have to configure that plugin. So that, click system configuration and scroll down, and here we will get server groups under. First we can create a server group here, then we want to add a server into that group. So first we can add a server group. Let's name it as like Docker servers. You can give any name. Port number 22, username should be Ubuntu, and let's give its password, then save it. Again come to manage Jenkins, select system configuration, then we want to now add the server into our group, server group. For that, come scroll down, as here I get the our server Docker server group here. Now we want to add a server into that list. For that, automatically we have given the name Docker servers. The Docker servers is here, and give a name for our server like Docker app. We want to mention our Docker IP. Just come and click here. Our Docker server is here. Copy this IP and let's paste here. And okay, let's just remote, save it. Next, let's check that our SH plugin is correctly working and we do have access in Docker remote shell. So let's verify that. For that, open our automated pipeline. Then let's configure and let's add a build step there, like yes, here build step. You can click here build step. We can add a one more build step there. Here you can see executor shell like remote shell. We can take remote shell now. Docker server, Docker app, our Docker server IP address is here. And let's do something here, like in remote shell we can create a file or folder. So here I'm going to create a file with file.txt, then touch. Yes, let's create one file now and let's verify it's working or not. File.txt. Let's save this and build now. Before that, I will show you, this is our Docker server. There is nothing, it's empty server right now. So we are going to build this and let's verify it's working. As you can see, our app is building right now, and once it finishes, let's verify our build step is executed the test command in Docker server or not. Yes, unfortunately we got error. Let's check that. Yes, let's verify once again. Just build now. As you can see, our app build is completed successfully. Let's verify. Let's check ls here. Yes, file.txt. Our test file is created here in Docker server. So we have access right now. Everything is okay. So next we can create a Docker file in our SCM. For that, I'm going to GitHub and then let's create a new file here. File name should be Docker file. D should be capital. Please try to write like this. Create a file, Docker file, then from Nginx again. Then what we want to do, like we want to copy all the contents from this current SCM. In Docker, Nginx default Docker root is /user/share/nginx/html. This is Docker Nginx document root. Here we are going to copy all the contents from the current directory to Nginx document root. Let's create this commit. Before that, we can go to our configuration and instead of remote shell, this for just testing our access. For now, let's delete that, and I'm going to add execute shell. We want to execute something in Docker server. For that, using scp command, we want to copy all the things and all the contents from Jenkins to our Docker server. For that, we Ubuntu at the right, then copy our Docker IP, paste here. After colon, we want to mention the path in Docker server. For in Docker server, let's create a directory here. Let's give as my apps. Yes, my apps. This is our directory. So let's move all the content to my apps. For that, my apps. And let's save this. And again come to configure. Then we have to do something in Docker. For let's take remote shell, and here we can do something like cd/home. We want to build the Docker and we have to run the image there. For that, Ubuntu my apps the Docker build -t. Let's give name my website in current directory. Let's denote as dot. Then next Docker run detach mode and expose the port 7. Let's expose the port 7080. So 84 container. Then next, let's give a name. Name should be my app, my website. Okay, let's save this. Also in GitHub, we want to commit these changes. For that, just commit and create Docker file. Just commit this change. Yes, let's check. Automatically build will occur. Our app is building right now, and let's check will it success or not. Yes, as you can see, our build is successful. Let's check the console output started by user GitHub. Then here you can see everything was gone. Yes, execution success. Yes, Docker, everything is okay. Finished success. Now what we want to do, like we want to open the port in Docker server. We have just mentioned before 7000. So under security section, click the security group, and we have to add a inbound rule, edit inbound rule, add a new rule, mention the port 7000 and allow the traffic from anywhere and serve the rule. Then come back to instances, just click the Docker server here and copy this IP, let's paste here and also mention the port number. Yes, this is our app, this is my website. Welcome to Bashmode YouTube channel. So we have successfully hosted our application in Docker. So I hope this video will be useful for you guys, especially for beginners. So if you are new to our channel, please do like and subscribe our channel. Until next video, bye.